What is good, people? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Hope you see me and hear me okay on YouTubes. How'd I already start with a thumbs down? What the hell is that? Unbelievable. These haters. The dedication. That's good. That's good. That's good. I think I'm going to stop by. I follow on him. I follow Nick on Instagram. So I seen his post. He's having a show today, right? Because it's not every Tuesday anymore. So I had to have seen the post. I had to go out of my way to head to YouTube, find the live video, hit the thumbs down, go about my day. The guy's happy now, whoever it is, or the girl, but probably a dude. Let's be honest. You know, hilarious. Unbelievable. So if you guys want to hit the like button, how about the ratio here? Damn haters. Hello to everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I don't have much of an intro today, so I'll do these and stuff. What's good? What's good? Calvin, Martin, Chris, Mike. What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all. Got a good one for you. Lot has happened. We'll start with story time, okay? We'll start with story time. So basically, sometimes when you're DJing weddings, you run into things, right? And it's been a couple weeks since I did this show. So like everything I'm talking about today happened in the last couple weeks, okay? When it happened, none of your business, okay? Last couple weeks. Very vague in that aspect. When you DJ weddings, sometimes you have to, overcome obstacles. There's obstacles sometimes, okay? So picture it. I'm about to DJ this wedding. We do our finals meeting. In the finals meeting, we're going over the planner, super standard stuff, right? Then we come across parents and whatnot. And the bride asked me, told me that, like, as far as parents, okay, so-and-so is my grandfather, but I want you to introduce him as the father of the bride, okay? I want you to refer to him as the father of the bride, introduce him that way. He was making a speech that day. When he makes a speech, call him the father of the bride. He's the father of the bride for the entire day, okay? This is pretty standard stuff, right? It's happened many times. I'm assuming he raised her. I don't know. None of my business. You want me to call her the father? No problem. Got you, right? So that's how I referred to him. That's how I did all the paperwork. That's no problem, okay? So come to the day of the wedding. I arrive at the place, right? And we're loading in stuff. And then I met the grandpop, right? Came up, right? Older gentleman, introduced himself as the father of the bride. Hey, what's up? My name's so-and-so. I'm the father of the bride. Shook my hand. Great to meet you. Congratulations. It's going to be a fun night. Yada, yada, yada. Kept loading in. Okay? So just reconfirmed it, right? That's what we're doing today. Okay? He's the father of the bride for whatever reason. Okay? Again, none of my business, but that's what I'm doing because that's what she wants, and we're going to do it. We're all set up. Everything's ready to go. The best man comes up and is like, yo, wants to talk to me about a speech and little, details, da-da-da-da. And he's like, yo, when's my speech? I want to know. I got to be ready, like they usually do. And he came up, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be right after the father of the bride's welcome. Then he stopped and he corrects me. No. It's the grandfather, just so you know. That's not the father. That's not the father. It's the grandfather. I'm like, yeah, but like the bride wants me to say father. Oh, okay, my bad. Super red flag, okay? That's a huge red flag. And that prepared me for what was about to come. If this happens to you, you need to take note of this, okay? I'll explain. If the best man, someone super connected to the couple, comes up to you and you're talking to him and he corrects you on the follow the bride thing, that means that not everybody's on the same page, okay? Not everybody, like everyone, just calls him the grandpop and that's it. He's not like, the dad all the time type thing. And if the best man said it, that means the entire crowd also considers him the grandfather, not the father. What does that mean? That means you're going to have hecklers. Hecklers are a thing. Hecklers are a thing at weddings. Any crowd could be a heckler. Why do hecklers heck? They heck because they disagree with something that you say, okay? That's when hecklers heck. The main reason why you would get a heckler at a wedding would be if you're emceeing and you mispronounced a name or titled somebody. You didn't give somebody the right title. You're going to have hecklers because you got to realize that at a wedding, you have 150, 200, however many people of that couple's closest allies. That's their closest allies. It's their friends, their family, all their people. Right? So that's their closest allies. So if they see something that they think's wrong, they're going to call it out right away. Okay? Whether it's wrong or right. And why I'm explaining all this is because, like, you got to prepare yourself. And I feel like there's some people that might, if you get caught off guard with this, you could kind of handle it the wrong way. You know what I mean? Now, because I got that signal from the best man, and actually like 2 more later too from other people that I kind of had to, like, they try to correct me, and I'm like, no, like, that's what she wants. And they're like, oh, okay, my bad. I knew what I was in for. Okay. So I was prepared for it. You got to be prepared. Because you bet your ass, the second I said, let's hear it for the father of the bride, there was like 8 people. The grandfather, it's the grandfather, like yelling at me, right? And I could catch you off guard. You're talking in front of 150 people. You start getting heckled. It's like, did I mess up? Oh, shit. And then you end up messing your next announcement, right? Don't want to let that happen to you. You got to prepare for that sort of thing. Look for these little signals, okay? And if it does happen to you, just roll with it. Never address a heckler, okay? Never like address them directly. Never like yell back at them. Never even pay no. Just keep it pushing. Keep it professional, okay? You don't want to dwell on that sort of thing. I'm a little petty, so like what I did was I was literally prepped for that. So like when that happened, he came out. Because he was an older guy, so it took a little longer to come out. When he came out, then I was just like, I kind of pointed him out again. I was like, once again for the father of the bride, to kind of drive the point home. Like, I know what I said, people, right? But other than that, you got to keep it pushing. Don't pay no mind to it, and that's it. Heckles happen. Don't feed into it, okay? Comedians can feed into it. Comedians can flame them, but we're not in the position to do that. We're not comedians, we're DJs. So keep that in mind. On a side note too, which is kind of crazy. So that same wedding, it was just like one of those weddings where it's just like a couple little things, like the crowd. I felt like the entire crowd thought I was messing up, and there was nothing I could do about it, right? Because again, I'm calling the grandfather the father. That's what the couple wanted, and they're happy as hell. I did what they said, so we're good. Then it comes for the father-daughter dance with the grandfather, right? So I'm announcing it's father-daughter dance, and they're dancing to a song called "Something Stupid" by Frank Sinatra and Nancy Sinatra, his daughter, right? The song is called Something Stupid. If you don't make my mistake, okay? All right, learn from my mistakes here. If you have a song like Something Stupid, called Something Stupid, you want to announce it a certain way, okay? I wasn't thinking, and I just, announced it like regular, and I was like, all right, so family and friends at this time, right here, center of the dance floor, so-and-so and her dad so-and-so are going to share a very special dance to Something Stupid. Right? And like, it was one of those things where, like, as it came out, I was like, oh, God, that didn't sound right. And I know for a fact, multiple people in the crowd who've never heard of this. I never heard of this song, honestly, before it. So, like, but multiple people in the crowd who've never heard of that song in their lives looked at me like, really? Did he just call their song Something Stupid? So it's like, first he's calling the grandpop the dad. Then this guy's calling the song Something Stupid. Like, hope this is like got to be the worst MC of all time, right? So the moral of all this story is sometimes you got to look like the bad guy because, well, I could have rephrased the whole Something Stupid. I could have said a song entitled Something Stupid. I don't know why I didn't do that. But generally speaking, sometimes you got to be the bad guy, whether it be with requests that you can't honor, but you don't want to throw the couple under the bus, whether it be, the way you announce certain things that might not make sense to most of the crowd, but that's what the couple wanted. You got to do what the couple tells you to do. And sometimes the crowd's going to think you look dumb or think you're doing something wrong. And at the end of the day, fuck them. Okay? Because all that matters is the couple's happy. That's all that matters. You do what the couple says. Don't worry about how you look. Don't worry about your ego, okay? Don't try and tell the couple, well, if I do that, like, everyone's going to think I'm wrong. And who gives a shit? It's not your wedding. You know what I mean? That's the moral of this story. Just roll with the punches, people. Not every wedding, you're not going to come out of every wedding looking like Braveheart, looking like the hero and shit. Like, oh, wow, this guy's amazing. Sometimes you're going to look bad when you're really doing your job, And it's just a part of the game. That's the moral of the story. And that was story time. So much is happening, though. So I actually attended a wedding Actually, don't worry about when it was. I attended a wedding. You've probably seen it if you follow me on Instagram. Me and my beautiful fiance. Baby's coming soon, people. Wish me luck. Holy shit. Baby's coming soon. But this is us at the wedding. Took that stereotypical couple picture, right after ceremony on the lawn. And it was a great time. Super fun to talk about, though, because like attending a wedding, I never get to attend weddings. I don't know about you guys, but like for me, I probably have attended, I don't know, 5 weddings in my entire life, So this is like a once every 2-3 year thing for me. And so it was fun to have that perspective, and it's great for the show today because like now I can, kind of talk from a guest perspective and give you guys some tips on that. And, definitely, definitely a different experience. I had a great time, though. I definitely had a great time. I wanted to fill you guys in, first of all, on my patented, not really, but my very specific tipping strategy when it comes to bartenders, okay? Hear me out. This is a very valuable piece of advice. We're all of us are going to attend a wedding at one point in our lives, okay? I want to fill you in on my tipping strategy. I think it's the greatest tipping strategy of all time when it comes to weddings. I call it Nick Spinelli's $50 tip system, okay? I'll explain how it works. First of all, it's $50 broken up into 4 parts. 20, 20, 5, 5, okay? So you got to have like all the change. And don't be a crumb and ask for change, by the way. Like bring the change. Like bring 2 20s and 2 5s. Like, bring it with you. Don't bring a 50 or 100 and be like, oh, can you break this? You're being a crumb, okay? Bring the change so you have it ready. But anyway, it's the 20, 20, 5, 5 system. This is how it works. You're at the wedding. Ceremony ends. You go up to the bar during cocktail hour. You check out the bartenders, okay? Usually there's 2 of them. Sometimes there's more, depending on how big the wedding is. But usually at least 2, okay? So you feel them out. You look at both bartenders like, okay, what do we got here? Now, if these were the 2, this is a stock photo I got off the internet, but if these happen to be the 2 bartenders that I walked up on, I'd look at them both. Just from judging their looks, I would say that the guy looks like he's really scared to pour a strong drink. He looks like he probably used one of those measuring devices, there's what do they call it, jiggers or whatever. Like, he probably scared to pour a strong drink. Girl looks like she's more laid back, more like, have fun. You only live once type thing, right? I think. I don't know. Sometimes you can tell by looking at them. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to go and talk to them and stuff. You always find out the first drink. So I always go up and I pick the better of the 2 that I think would be the better of the 2. What I personally I'm from judging from looks, judging the book by its cover, what I think the better of the 2 is. I go up to them and, I try to feel them out, see if they're cool, right? Just see if they're cool. If they're super uptight, it's going to be tough. You don't want an uptight bartender. If they're both uptight, you're screwed. Anyway, feel them out. Usually I guess it right and they're cool and I can start the $50 tip strategy. But if I do not, if I, guess wrong, go to the first one and I really don't like them, I kind of want to get a drink from the other one, then it's basically going to cost you $5 because you got to tip for that. So it's going to cost you an extra $5 on top of the tipping strategy because, you have to tip them $5 for that one drink. I'm not a fan of tipping $1. I think $5, especially in today's America. Anyway, so whatever it costs you an extra $5, you figure out who your person is, right? Then you pick your person, your bartender for the night. So step 1, okay? First drink, $20. Bam, okay? Go up to the bartender. They get my drink. I give them $20 off the rip. And I usually tell them, you're my guy or you're my girl, okay, for the night. You're my guy for the night. Now, bartenders will hear that and think, first of all, they'll see the $20 thank you, right? Most people tip $1. So $20 is still, whoa, thank you. Now, they're going to hear you say oh, you're my guy. And a lot of them will assume okay, this guy's tipped me $20 up front and I got to take care of him the rest of the night. Whatever. He'll be one of those. Let's say tip $20. Most people I probably get $8 to $10 out of. That's how I would think, right? So whatever. So they think that. But then you blow their minds with step 2. Step 2 is the second drink. Another 20. Okay, now we're 2 20s in a row. And you got to look them in the eye when you do it, by the way. Okay, make sure the tip counts. Don't just slide, put it in the jar so they don't see it. No, even if there's a jar, you slap it on the table. Okay, you slap that tip on the table and you slide it up to them and thanks again, right? Now you tipped them 40. Now all of a sudden they're holy shit, this guy's crazy, right? This guy is the man. 2 drinks, $40. Is he tipping $20 every drink? I don't know. I could make $1 million off this guy. This is crazy. Is he rich? Holy shit, what's his name? Let me Google him. Right? Now you got their attention. Now they're really your bartender, okay? So then the third drink, I do a $0 drink. The third drink, I kind of act like I'm in a hurry on purpose, right? Usually maybe as soon as like we get into the reception hall right before intros, you're kind of in a hurry, right? Just grabbing a drink before intros or something. I don't know, whatever it is. Third drink, I act like I'm in a hurry. Hey, can I get a Tears Club? Oh, thanks. Right. They probably already know your drink by then, but whatever, Yeah, thanks. All right. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And you leave. Kind of in a hurry. $0 drink right there. Then, after everything's settled, formalities happen, everything, you go for your fourth drink, or whenever you go for your fourth drink, then you tip $5. Now you're 45 in. Now at this point, the bartender's like, holy shit, man, this guy's still tipping average, more than the average bear. $45 in deep now, just with this one guy. He loves you, okay? He or she loves you. Fifth drink, I hit him with the other 5. Right now we're 50 in. We completed the full $50 tip system. Hit him with the last 5. Doesn't know what to do with himself or herself, okay? They're losing their mind. Wow. He just keeps tipping every drink. 5. He gave me 2 20s earlier. Now at this point, okay, all you got to do is get in this person's peripherals, okay? And they're going to make your drink before you even come up. You don't even have to tell them anymore. You just come up with a glass, and before you even get to the bar, your drink's made, okay? Now you got the greatest experience at a wedding of all time. And then after that, that's it. You're in the promised land. You're just in the promised land. That's what the promised land is. Your drink is ready for you before you even ask for it. In such situations, the bartender will even deliver you a drink to your table when he sees that you're empty. He will keep your glass full the entire time. He will allow you to get wasted. This is the proven system, people. I've only been to 5 weddings, but I've done it all 5 weddings, and it works fantastically. You could steal it, okay? And for all of you that are like, kind of hearing me talk about this, like, Nick, you're going to have like 6 drinks at a wedding or more? Like, what do you? It's because I'm a fantastic wedding guest, okay? If you're that up to, 6 drinks, I always have a room or a shuttle or a ride. I'm not drinking and driving. I'm a good wedding guest, okay? I get tipsy. I dance my ass off. I enjoy myself. That's what you're supposed to do at a wedding, okay? If you're one of those people, you go to a wedding, you have 1 drink, and, I'm too good for 2 or 3. That's ridiculous. I just like to have a mild time everywhere I go. Well, then that's you, okay? I like to have a good time, so don't judge me, all right? Don't judge me for having a good time at a wedding. I, again, am a fantastic wedding guest. I'm planning a wedding. I don't know about you guys when you plan a wedding or if you plan a wedding in the future, but I want everybody drunk. I want everybody to let loose and have a great time, okay? Aunt Donna ain't really going to twerk on the dance floor unless she's 4 or 5 drinks deep. Drinking brings the fun out of you, okay? And that's why there's open bars in most weddings. So, of course, I'm going to have 5, 6 drinks. Of course I am. I'd be a hypocrite if I went to a wedding and didn't party and enjoy myself. I just sat there like a loser, Anyway. So that's my drink system. Feel free to steal it, okay? And it's not really, it's not really trademarked or anything. Like, what, do I have a T on? Yeah, just for the record, don't follow me with some lawyers. It's not really trademarked. But anyway, so I attended a wedding. I'm sure you guys want to hear about the DJ, right? Sure you guys want to hear my opinion on the DJ, because that's all. I got so many messages. I did like one story just saying like, hey, I'm attending a wedding tonight. It was like me and my girl, and then I got a bunch of messages from you guys like, yo, what's the DJ like? What's it like? Da-da-da. Does he suck? So, I mean, listen. I have a show that, I have a whole entire YouTube channel dedicated to DJ tips. So, obviously, I'm going to analyze a DJ and give tips and give you guys, an analysis of what I thought. And what I thought could have been done better, so you guys don't make the same mistakes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do it to help the community, and that's it. I will say this though. Swallowed down wrong too. My bad. Anybody listening to me in a podcast probably like, what the fuck, man? I had you turned up and you just coughed in the mic. Oh shit. I will say that all the advice I'm going to give, right, costs $0. I'm not going to comment like on the guy's setup, on what equipment he used, right? On what he wore, on the cheap dye he used on his mustache, any of that stuff. There's levels to everything. When I started out, I DJ'd on a regular 6-foot table with a 6-foot table behind me for my CDs, with my couple $100 Newmark CD Mix 2, two shitty top speakers. I didn't use a subwoofer for the first 5 years of my career. I used the same mic for the first 8 years, and it was a terrible mic. One mic, that was it. You know what I mean? I've only used furniture the last 5 years. Before then, it was a facade. Before that, you evolve. I'm a true believer. As long as you're trying to get better and you constantly get better at DJing itself, at the actual art of it, and just like making people dance and just doing a good job at weddings, you get better, you evolve, then you make more money, you charge more, and then you're able to, invest more money into yourself, get a better setup along the way, slowly upgrade little things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to give any dollars and cents advice. Like, you shouldn't use these speakers. You shouldn't, no. All the advice I'm about to give costs no money, okay? All it costs is giving a shit. All you got to do is give a shit. You just got to give a shit and try and learn. Just Google shit and learn. That's all, okay? I just want to preface it with this. First thing is scanning your hard drive. Everybody should do it. And I realize that maybe some of you guys just haven't heard about this before. So every DJ program, to my knowledge, I can only speak on Serato, but I'm sure, I'm almost positive Virtual DJ does it. Every DJ does it. Every DJ program does it. When you load your crates, when you load up all your music on your DJ program, whatever you're using, you want to scan your hard drive. What scanning does is it scans each song and the levels of each song, and it allows for the auto gain function in your DJ program to work correctly. Auto gain essentially adjusts the gain depending on the song. That way, it's not perfect, right, in any program, but that it adjusts the gain automatically. So when you're playing different music, right, because obviously you're playing one song after another, all the songs are generally the same volume when you play them. If you don't scan your hard drive, then auto gain function doesn't work very well at all. And then you might play an old song, and it'll be at this volume. Then you might play a newer song and it's to the gods volume, right? Super loud. Then you might play another song that might be in the middle. So your volumes are up and down, and it's not a consistent volume. And it can startle people, right? You don't have to be a DJ to know that whoa, that was way loud when he came in with that. That paired with not using a monitor, having the speakers in front of you and not using a monitor at all, so you can't pick up on it as well. It can make for a rocky volume in your set. So always scan your hard drives. And when it comes to Serato, if you look here, right, there's an analyze file button. Don't worry about the arrow. I just pulled this picture offline real quick a couple minutes ago because I realized I wanted to show you guys where the button was at least. In Serato, if you take a folder and drag it, or a group of songs or whatever, and just drag it over to analyze files, right over analyze files, when you don't have a controller hooked up, by the way. So just Serato, raw Serato without having any type of controller hooked up, just with your computer. Analyze all your files. It takes a little bit, right? But it's going to analyze them. It's going to get the beat grid. It's going to do the BPM. It's going to do the key. And then it's also going to be able to check the levels so it can better auto gain the songs as you're mixing back and forth. That way you have a more consistent sound. You're not going up and down and up and down. Super, super important. So don't forget to do that, DJs. If you haven't done that yet, do it this week before this weekend. Sometimes if you have larger hard drives, it could take overnight. Plug your computer in, do it overnight. Scan your hard drive. Very, 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 very important. Okay? Second thing I would recommend against. Lights during intros. I don't recommend against them. I just think that you shouldn't don't turn on your lights during intros unless you have a light show for intros. Obviously have your if you want to have your up lights kind of stagnant in the background chilling, obviously do that, right? But if you're going to control them in any shape or form during intros, you want to have somebody live controlling them so they go towards intros. If they strobe and stuff when the couples come in, great. But have someone live doing that. Or if you have sound switch, you program the intro songs to sound switch, great. You have a light show. It's got to make sense. What this person did was he had two Chauvet Swarm FX 5s, right? So if you know the light, it's a combo light that has the lasers and the whatever. And he just flipped them on during intros. And it just did the dots and everything during intros. First of all, it's during the day. There's no reason for it. Second of all, it messes up the photographers and videographers with their pictures because they got these lasers and these dots going all over the place. Hard to Photoshop out. Hard. You have to turn your flash up. You have to adjust your cameras to like try and not pick all those, pick up the stupid colors and all that, right? They don't want those in the pictures. They just want like a natural person just coming in. So like they have to adjust their cameras, and then sometimes you still can't get rid of it. You have to do it post-production. It just makes their job way harder. And honestly, at the end of the day, just turning on 2 Swarm FX during intros, just like during the day in the ballroom, it just looks stupid. It looks tacky in my opinion. Now, if you're drunk and it's dark out and that's what kind of lights you have and you turn them on, for dancing, then that's one thing. But like for intros, it just looked tacky. So do not use your lights. Do not turn your lights on during intros unless you have a real light show, like a legit one, like a sound switch or like someone live controlling your shit. So it goes to the music. It goes, Brian Group's coming in. And then like the light strobe, like, you know what I mean? Like, unless you do it correctly, don't just turn some lights into auto mode because it'll just look tacky. Trust me. And it's going to piss off the photo and video people. And you need them on your side. Okay. They'll recommend you stuff, everything. You want to work well with your vendors and your peeps. So just makes sense. Okay. Moving right along. Let's talk about playing whole songs. Okay. Hold on one second. So this is a constant debate when it comes to playing whole songs. It's a literal constant debate. All right, I'm going to go on a rant. Let's talk about playing whole songs. Don't. There's very few exceptions, okay? Shout, you play all the way through. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, you play all the way through. Some like B-side, Rosalita, Bruce Springsteen, you play all the way through. They're like, there's exceptions, but generally speaking, do not play whole songs. It doesn't make sense. Now, I get why some DJs play whole songs, right? It makes sense to me. I get why they do. Because it's really because you don't know how to mix, right? If you're new to DJing or you just never learned how to mix, right? You never learned how to beat mix or slam, drop things on the one, just mixing in general. If all you can do is kind of just fade to the next thing, right? You never learned how to mix for whatever reason, then mixing out in the middle of a song, or fading in, like cutting a song off early and fading in the next one in the middle of the song can seem very awkward and intimidating to you, right? And I get that. Okay, so I get why DJs play whole songs. It's because they just don't know how to mix. And if you don't know how to mix and you're just fading from one to the other, it's weird. It's just definitely weird. It's easier to just let the song play out and then play the next song, Or like at least it's at the end of the song, then you kind of fade it out and play the next one. It just seems more fluid, right? It seems more smooth. It kind of sounds crazy to you to ever quick mix because it's just like, well, why would I do that? It'll sound like shit. And it's because you just don't know how to mix. So my first point of advice is learn how to mix. You have to learn how to mix at this point. I was there years ago. I was there in 2003, 2004, DJing weddings, not mixing at all, teaching, emceeing it, right? Because when wedding DJs started becoming a thing, people got into DJing weddings, not to DJ, to MC, to be an entertainer. That's why you got into weddings. You didn't get into weddings to be a DJ. That was just a side effect. Like you had to know how to, basically use DJ equipment. You had to know how to, fade from one song to another. You had to know how to, pick the songs and all that. Like that was part of it. Like that was a side effect. But the real reason why you got into DJing, the real art of it back in the day was your MC skills, how you entertained, how you taught dances, interacted with the crowd. That was the real skill back in the day. That's what worked. Mixing, I would argue that, if you went to a wedding in 2004, 2005, and before that, quick mixed, it wouldn't have worked back then. It wouldn't have, because the crowds were different, okay? They were less dialed in. They've never been exposed to that sort of thing before, okay? So I get why DJs don't mix. I get why there's still leftover of these DJs that don't mix at all, that just fade to the next song, play entire whole songs, and that's it. I get it. I get why there's still leftovers. But I'm here to tell you that it's never too late to learn. And you're not going to last long if you don't learn. You're just not. Crowds are different now. People are more dialed in now. They realize that mixing is a thing. They don't want to hear entire songs. We have a whole generation of people that scroll on TikTok and Instagram all day. Every 3 seconds, they get a new piece of content. You think they want to sit through an entire 4-minute song at a wedding while dancing? You think they're going to sit through that? You think they're going to just keep dancing through that? Like, no, they're going to leave. It's just going to be very hard. People will dance. People will pity dance, right? Like, will just dance to dance because like they love the couple and they just want to have a good time and they want the wedding to be a good time. They want the wedding to be successful. People will dance, right? But eventually that's going to wear out. If you have a good crowd, they'll dance up front, but eventually it's going to taper off. And if you're watching this and you play whole songs and you don't mix it all, this is familiar to you, right? How many weddings have you had where it was pretty good up front, but then it kind of tapered off, right? It's very few and far between where you have a wedding that's like bumping until the very end. You know, it's very few and far between. And that's because you're playing whole songs and you're boring the shit out of people. I disagree with playing 2 verses in most cases, okay? There's only certain cases where I play 2 verses. I think generally speaking, DJs should play the best parts of every song. I don't care what you're DJing. A corporate party, a Sweet 16, a wedding, a quinceañera, a club, a bar, a fucking barbecue. I don't care what you're DJing. You should not be playing full songs. You should be playing the best parts of songs, okay? And knowing what the best parts of the songs are to play is something that you constantly evolve with. It's something you're constantly learning, right? Every wedding, I would say, I play a new song and I realized I might have played it a little too long or I might have cut it off a little too short. And then I make a mental note for next time. Almost always. I'm constantly learning. As I'm trying new songs out, you figure stuff out. For example, Spice Girls, right? I'm getting into, you know, when I started quick mixing and everything, right, and getting good at it, I would play Spice Girls. I'd play that chorus, if you want to be my lover, and then I'd fade out. Not fade out, but I'd mix out and I'd get out of it, right? Well, one time I had someone come up to me and be like, you missed the rap at the end. How are you going to miss the rap at the end? Oh, here's a story about him and me, whatever. I don't even know the rap. But there's a rap at the end. I think it's like Scary Spice or some shit. Ever since then, I'm like, holy shit, I should skip to the rap. So I skip to the rap. So I play the first verse, the chorus, the rap, the chorus, and I'm out. Those are the best parts of the song. That's a 2-verse mix, right? There's not too many of those, but the 2-verse mixes are necessary. It's the best parts. A couple ones I learned recently. No Hands by Waka Flocka, right? I posted a mix on TikTok, right? So this is recent. It's like 2 months ago. I'm always learning about this. You always have to pay attention to this. I posted a mix on TikTok. I mixed out of No Hands by Waka Flocka in the first chorus. Multiple people in the comments flamed me. They're like, yo, how the hell are you going to skip the next verse? Who does the next verse? Oh, God. Apparently it's a legendary verse. Like the second verse of No Hands is a legendary verse and everybody knows it. So I was like, all right. And I asked Santi because Santi's younger and he's like, yeah, dude, it's a legendary verse. I'm like, okay. So then the next wedding, I left it on for 2 verses. The second verse, everybody knew every word to. Now, from now on, I play 2 verses of No Hands. Sierra, 1-2 Step. I just remembered that at the end of 1-2 Step, there's that break. It's I'm on it to me on a dance floor, and then it goes to that rap or whatever, right? Like it's like towards the end. It's like a break, and then it goes right into the rap. I just remember that everybody knows that part. I remember that part from when I was in high school. We used to rap that part. So literally, I think it was like the last month, I started skipping to that second verse of 1-2 Step. And it goes off every time because everybody knows that. But these are the very few exceptions. There's other songs where I just play the chorus. What's the Biz Marquee song? You got what I need, right? I just play the chorus and I am out. I'll play the chorus twice, let everybody sing along, and I'm out. You want to know why? Because nobody wants to hear, have you ever heard a story about the girl? Or like however to go. I literally don't know words of anything, by the way, guys. So this is probably like brutal to you. But like, I just play the chorus because that's all everybody, the verses are too boring. They might be fire verses. You might love them. You might know every word, but the average person doesn't. They just know that you got what I need part. That's all they know. And I'm out. So quick mixing is about identifying the best parts of the songs. And you're not going to do it all at once. You're not going to know it right up front, okay? You're going to know a lot, but you're going to learn a lot too. You're going to learn from mistakes. And you just got to make mental notes and realize what parts of songs you need to play, and that's it. And it changes too. I bet you 20 years from now, if I play 1-2 step, nobody's going to know that rap at the end because it's too old. Because it's like, oh, well, nobody, like, oh, it's only people like my age who were there when a song came out that knows that rap at the end. So when my audience, 10, 20 years from now is like 10, 20 years older, they're not going to know that rap at the end. So maybe I don't play that rap at the end. Like, it'll evolve. Everything evolves. You're constantly evolving with how you mix, what parts you mix. It's constantly evolving. So like, there's no I can't just sit here and tell you like how to quick mix like that. You have to figure it out on your own. But the general rule is you play the best parts of the song and you keep it moving. And the best way to do that, the only way to do that, is to be able to beat mix and just mix in general, dropping on the one, just mixing in general. You got to be able to do with your eyes closed. And I realize a lot of DJs never focused on mixing because that's not why they got into wedding DJing. It was just something they had to learn how to use a mixer just to play the songs that they're teaching line dances to or that they're entertaining to. I get that, but now you have to. If you want to have any longevity in this career, you have to learn how to proficiently mix. And you have to know what the best parts of the song are and have to be able to mix proficiently enough where you can just mix one chorus and be out. You got to be quick with it. If you're not good at mixing, it takes you a while to get the beat and get it down. Then before you know it, you missed your mix and now you're playing a second, third verse and you're losing the people. That's why I mean you have to be super, super proficient at it. And it takes practice. And there's just no excuse not to learn at this point. We have the internet, we have TikTok, we have YouTube. There is millions of videos out there with DJs literally showing you how to do it, how to phrase it correctly, how to match it up, different styles, different ways. There's tons of content out there. It's not like the 90s where you had to buy a VHS tape somewhere of like a performance and then like try and mimic the performance because they're not showing you how to do it. They're just doing it live, right? Like this isn't the 90s. The information is out there. It's insane. All you got to do is take some time out of your day and watch the videos and then set up your shit in your house and practice and practice and practice and practice some more and practice some more. Now you even have somewhere to practice at. Twitch. Make a Twitch account and stream live and then mix and make mistakes live and then mix because there's no pressure. It's Twitch. Who cares? If there's 2 people watching, who gives a shit? Just mix on Twitch. Put in your 10,000 hours of mixing. Stop focusing on MCing. Mixing. You got the MCing down. You're good. The guy I saw at this wedding, solid MC. Solid. There's still little things but that's style shit. That's subjective shit. You know what I mean? Like I have my MC style. Everybody has their own MC style. There's nothing for me like concrete to like tell you guys about. It doesn't. He did a good job. He knew how to MC. He's been DJing weddings for years. I could tell. He just never learned how to mix. And there's so many of you out there. And I hope if one person can see me yelling this at the camera and change their mind and actually learn how to mix, it will pay you so many dividends. It's unreal. And any of you that are in a market saying that, oh, well, long mixing works, people want to hear the entire song, you are dead fucking wrong. You never tried quick mixing because you don't know how. And because if you knew how, you would do it and it would work. There's no way it wouldn't work. If you've tried quick mixing and it didn't work, you're just not doing it right. It's just a fact. Put your ego to the side and just listen to me on this. Please listen to me on this, okay? It will work anywhere. If you're in a market where no one quick mixes, where everyone plays the whole song, and you still have decent weddings, if you learned how to proficiently mix and started quick mixing and just playing the best parts of songs, you will blow your market out of the water. You will be the most expensive DJ there. You'll be able to double your price. You would blow people's minds, and you will be a celebrity in your market. You will be the shit. You will be the greatest DJ of all time in your market, if your market happens to be that far behind. And also, think about it from a product standpoint. If you quick mix, you're playing more songs, which is better, right? I mean, what's better? A DJ that plays 40 songs, which, 40 songs for the entire dance set is like, all the top 40 hits, same songs you hear at every wedding, or a DJ that plays 200 songs during a wedding, literally 200 different songs. You're getting a better bang for your buck. It's a better value for the customer. More songs you play, the better. I'm not saying play like 3-second snippets and like try, like it's not like a race to, whoever plays the most songs are the best, but like more songs generally, if you're just playing the best parts and you're playing them correctly, more songs is way better than less songs. It's a better bang for your buck. I'm telling you, like I don't understand. Every time I talk about this, I always see comments where DJs are just like, like baffled and just like tell me I'm wrong. And it breaks my heart because these are the same DJs that complain about, oh, these brides are price shopping. Oh, these brides, I can't get the money I want to get. I got to charge $1,000. I can't charge more than that because they're not going to pay it. They don't value the DJ. They don't value the DJ because you go and DJ and you play the same music that everybody else plays and you just fade it in and out. And even a step further, there's some good DJs out there that are good mixers that know what they're doing that still play 2 verses because they're scared. Still play too long, still mix too long because like they think like, oh, it's a wedding, so I gotta play slower. You club DJs that are going in the wedding market, play it like a club. Exactly how you play like a club, play that. Do that. Just insert some older songs for the wedding peeps. Other than that, play it like a club. Okay? Don't dumb down. If you're a good mixer and you're getting into weddings, don't dumb down your skills just because you think it's a wedding crowd and they're not dialed in and they're not gonna like it if you move too fast. That's bullshit. Okay? That's bullshit. Read your crowd. Look up at your crowd, all right? Figure out what the best parts of the song are. Play those. Keep it moving. Quick mix. And mix in general. Trust me. Any of you who don't take my advice, you're not going to be around in 5 years, or if you are around, you're going to be one of those you're just going to be at the low end. You're not going to make a lot of money. You're going to be miserable. You're not going to be having good parties. And you're going to be dealing with the type of clientele that doesn't value the DJ because they're paying such a low price for it. And they are the worst kind of clientele you can ever have. They don't give a shit about you. You are a vendor and you do what I say and that's it. It's a terrible, like doing cheap weddings is the worst. It literally is the worst. Like the worst weddings I've ever had in my life were when I was doing weddings for $600 at fire halls and stuff. Because those are people that don't value the DJ and they micromanage everything. They're very hard to work for. And generally speaking, you're not going to have a lot of success at your parties. You know, if you just learn how to mix and master this and like really like work at it and incorporate your part, you're going to have so much fun. It's going to reinvigorate your entire career. You're going to have so much fun. You're going to be able to charge more. Life will be great. Just please take my advice. Please. Sorry about the long rant, but I feel like I do this rant like once every, I don't know, once every couple months. If I can turn a couple of you around, it's worth it. I don't know. It's important, people. It's just important. Anyway, moving right along. So, I actually worked up a sweat with that rant. Holy shit. So I had a challenging wedding in the last couple weeks, and I thought it would be useful to explain what happened and explain how I was able to be successful at this wedding and how I worked it all out and little tricks I did. I thought it'd be useful for you guys in case you come across this sort of thing. So let's talk about this challenging wedding. I say challenging is not a bad thing. It's just there's different, you get different weddings. Some weddings, they're just like, do your thing. And I guess you could say there's a quote unquote easy weddings, but they're not really. If a client just tells you to do your thing, for me, I still like some kind of direction because like otherwise I'm really shooting darts and I don't know. They're like, oh, do not play, no playlist, just do your thing, do whatever. It's like, all right, well, how do I know if you're liking what I'm playing? Like, like I kind of like, it's always still a good wedding, but like, I don't know. I'd still like some direction. So like to me, like the whole do your thing isn't like the best situation for me. But then sometimes you get weddings where they're very specific in what they want. Now me personally, I tell my couples like be as specific as you want. Like I encourage this sort of thing because I don't mind it. Like I want you to have what you want. Like you pay extra money for me. Like I can do my thing, but like also like I want it to be your wedding. I want to play the songs that you like, that your people like, that your family likes. And if you happen to be really good with music and you happen to like, have a good idea of what everybody likes and like what they don't like and like what to do, then tell me specifics. Like, let me know. If you have a vision, let me know. If I think like parts of the vision isn't going to work, I'll tell you, but like, feel free. Let me know. I'm happy to take direction. And I think as a wedding DJ, you need to be like that because at the end of the day, you're working for them. Okay. And like, you don't always know best. And every single time I get a wedding that's more challenging, where like, there's like more specific playlists and stuff, almost every single time they're absolutely correct. Like all the songs I'm playing, I'm literally like almost cringing as I play some of the songs because it's like, I don't know if it's going to work. And they work because they know their crowd. Listen to your couple. Listen to them. They're giving you an unbelievable handicap. You know what I mean? Like an unbelievable advantage. So this is the situation at the wedding I had within the last few weeks. So we had very specific playlists and the do not play. among other things, was no hip hop. And when I say no hip hop, I mean no hip hop, like none, like not even like the R&B type hip hop, like not even like Yeah by Usher, Hot in Here, right? Because like when a client, not to jump ahead to no hip hop, but like when a client asks me, says like, hey, listen, we don't want no hip hop, I always clarify, like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you scared I'm going to play like, I don't know, Young Dolph or some shit at your wedding? Like, you're scared of like some heavy trap? You mean no trap, or do you mean like no hip hop in general, right? In this case, I said, like no hip hop at all? He's like, no, at all. I'm like, all right, well, what about like Hot in Here by Nelly? He's like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh, okay, so you mean no hip hop at all, right? Always clarify that, because like you'll get no hip hop sometimes, but they really just mean like, no, heavy stuff, like, that sort of thing. So specific playlists, no hip hop. So when it comes to the playlist, this is how I organized my crates. So I basically had I guess I should have blacked out their name, but it's just their first names, whatever. So Mike and Ellen, so their formalities, that's where like first dance, parent dances, all that stuff goes into, right? So all the main formalities. Then I had an opening set. Then I had an after dinner set. Then I had general requests. And this is how I organized it. So what he wanted was, he said, Nick, for the opening set, I want you to start out with September by Earth, Wind & Fire, which is a great choice. I start out with that a lot, actually. So like that was no problem, right? And then the opening set, here's a list of songs I want you to play in that opening set, right? He had like 15, 20 songs, all older songs. He's like, for the opening set, I want to play for the older people. So like, here's my request for the open set, but then you can still add in your own songs. But generally speaking, I want to play for the old people. So I made an opening set folder. I made the first song September. That's what I'm starting with, right? So right after Toast, open up the dance floor, played September, no slow song, just played September right there. Bam, everyone came out. And then I went through all the songs in his list. He highlighted the must plays, which I told him to do because he had like extensive lists. So I was like, all right, well, definitely like he did an Excel spreadsheet. So I was like, within that, highlight all the must plays. So I put all the must plays in the opening set up top. There was like 6 or 7 must plays. And then the rest were like other just suggestions, and I can add my own suggestions. So I played directly out of that folder for the first set. Everything worked out great. There's a couple ideas I thought of in between, like when I was planning, and I always do that. I recommend you do that. Like when you get playlists and stuff from couples, if you have time during the week, bring the playlist up, mess with the songs, see if you have any little ideas in there. Like, if you can use 2 of their songs together and wordplay them together, that's like money because it's 2 specific must plays that they wanted, and then you connected them. Like, that's like cool shit to me. So I try and do that. Anyway, so that's the opening set. Then we go to dinner and all that. After dinner was another specific thing, because after dinner, he wanted me to open up with a slow song, then play a couple Bruce Springsteen songs, basically a Bruce Springsteen set that was dedicated to his late godmother and his entire family, who were big Bruce Springsteen fans or whatever. And like Bruce is like big around here, like Jersey. He's from Jersey, and the wedding was right down the road where like he started Asbury Park and all that. So like it's big around here. It might be, if you're from, I don't know, anywhere but Jersey, you're probably like, really, Bruce? Like Bruce Mega Mix? Like, but like it's big around here. Anyway, so in that after dinner thing, I had the slow song he suggested that he wanted for that. And then I had like the 3 or 4 Bruce songs I was going to play like in a row. That's what he wanted. No problem. And these Bruce songs, you got to play all the way through. You can't like cut them. You know what I mean? Like, it's really like, because they had different parts and all that. Like, it's just one of those songs you got to play all the way through. So I did play those songs all the way through. Everyone danced. It was almost like I look at that like a Bruce Springsteen concert almost, right? One song ends, I play the next one. So I was literally doing what I was just saying not to do. This would be a perfect example where you do that, right? They want a Bruce Springsteen set. You play the rock songs all the way through. You give them the songs. That's it, right? Why even risk it? He didn't say to do them all the way through, but like, why risk it? Cut it off, because then what happens when you cut like something like that off when you're doing something specific that they wanted? It's like, no, you bring it back, and now it looks weird, right? So anyway, went through that set. After that, I could do my own thing. So the dancing, I organized between dancing must, which is must play, and then regular dancing suggestions. That way I can constantly check back to the must play crate, make sure I played everything, because must plays you have to play. And then the other stuff I play as much as I can, but then I have them grouped together. That way, like I can select them all and still search through the entire thing, organize it by BPM and go through that way. And then slow stuff. I think he had like 1 or 2 slow songs like in his list that I thought like would work if I do slow it down. And that's how I organized it, and I referred to that. I knew he didn't want hip hop. He also didn't want Bruno Mars or Pitbull, other than like the one he had was it Give Me Everything on his list or whatever. So no Pitbull or no Bruno Mars. So I knew that. I knew hip hop. So like I still put in my own inputs and stuff based on like what was working out of his list too. But generally speaking, I kind of like stayed on his list, and I had some ideas built in. I mixed that way. So that's kind of how I got through it. You got to prep this way, people. If you just take the list and you print it out and you cross it out and stuff, it's just not going to work. And it'll work, but like you're going to be scrambling, you know? And then how do you know what the BPM is? How do you know what the key is? How do you know what's going to work with what? Like, don't just wing it. Like, load it into playlist and play it off the playlist and vibe, you know? That's the best possible way to do it. It takes a little extra time, especially if it's extensive. There's 100-something songs. You got to load each 100-something songs or whatever. But at least you're not, like, last minute searching for shit. At least, you know, you have all your favorite edits in there. And at least you can organize it in a way where you can see how it can connect. So just do the extra work and do that. Now, with the second challenge was the no hip hop. And a big thing I did with that's a tough thing because I would say I play probably 40% hip hop at my weddings, 30%. Like it's a solid chunk. I mean, depending on the wedding, but like generally speaking, I play a good amount of hip hop. I like hip hop, you know, and hip hop is dance music. Hip hop works, right? So, you know, what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to go through my regular crates and then like have to like skip over all these hip hop songs. Like, oh, that's hip hop won't work. Oh, that's hip hop won't work. Because that just takes me extra time. So one big tip I can give you when it comes to that is if you have a crate system like me, remove the hip hop. So you see I have like my wedding dance crates all like grouped, right? Like it's basically like all grouped like down that way. I took like every 2020's hip hop, 2010's hip hop, like all my hip hop folders, I literally just took out and I took them outside so I can search my entire wedding dance folder, like my whole crate system, without the hip hop. So there's no fluff in there. So there's nothing that in there that I can't play, you know? So when I'm going through, it's all songs that like literally I'm allowed to play. And that helped me out big time because otherwise you're spending extra time kind of hopping over the different hip hop songs. You go, you know, you go to dig for Crazy in Love and it's like, I can't play it. Shit. You know what I mean? And those are extra precious seconds. Before you know it, you know, your song's running out, right? So remove all the hip hop folders out of your main crate system when you have, or anything like that. And this is another benefit to have a crate system and have everything broken down by genre, because if there's a certain genre that you can't hit at all, you can literally take it out and you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. If you want to see how I organize my crates, by the way, or what's in my crates and all that, there is links in the description. So, you know, feel free to check out those links. I made entire videos on how I organize my crate systems. And then I literally have like links where you can like, you know, see what's in them and stuff. So if you're curious of that, you know, shameless plug. But that's how I did it, and it really assisted me. And like, I see a lot of DJs when it comes to like getting specific requests from couples, things like, oh, no Michael Jackson, no Bruno Mars, or no hip hop, right? You know, they can seem extreme to you and it seem like, wow, like it's going to be a terrible wedding without it. And you're wrong. You're just wrong. There's millions of songs out there. You don't need any genre, any artist. You don't need shit. Okay. You can make it work with anything. It just takes a little extra work. You know, that's why DJs, you know, buck back at that sort of thing. That's why DJs kind of like try and talk their couples, you know, into otherwise. I literally see it all the time. So, well, my couple doesn't want this, you know, I'm the professional. I know what I'm doing. So it's my job to tell the couple in the meeting that, listen, you know, what you want is wrong. Like, it's not going to work. You need to trust me and let me do what I do. And I'll make sure everybody dances because I play the same shit at every fucking wedding, no matter what. Like, I get it. You're wrong. You're just dead wrong. They know their crowd. You don't need hip hop. You just are too lazy to deviate from the set you do every single time. And you don't want to like have to look up additional songs that would replace all the hip hop songs you would play. Like it's just laziness. You know what I mean? Do the extra work and you can make it work. I played Be Faithful, which was on his list. That was the only, but that's like a party break. It's not even hip hop. So like I literally played zero hip hop at this wedding, and it was a great wedding. Packed dance for all night. Super fun. Happy as hell. It was exactly what he envisioned. Like everything was great. Like I couldn't have been happier. Now, was I a little nervous? A little bit, because like I had to dig outside the box and stuff, and like I had to make sure I was like ready to go. But I prepared my ass off. I prepared so much where like I had backup plans on backup plans on backup plans. Like if this song doesn't work, I'm gonna try this, and this song doesn't work, I can go here, and then I can do this set, but then like do this set with like something that came from his list here, and I had so many plans. You just have to not be lazy, put in the extra work, and plan all this shit out. And that's it. And you know what? When you do all the extra work and it works out, and it's a fun wedding, everyone dances and you have a good time, it's so much more rewarding because you stepped outside your box. You didn't do the same shit. You know, there's nothing like playing a new song and it working, or playing a song you never play and it works. It's just like a new ooh. It's like a new a new crowd reaction. You know, if you play Crazy in Love every single wedding and get a reaction every single wedding, by wedding 50, that reaction is not going to, you know, tickle your pickle the same as it did the first 10 times, 50 times, whatever. You know, like you just keep playing the same stuff. It's kind of, all right, you know, I knew that was going to work because I always do it, you know. It's actually really rewarding to put in the extra work and do what the couple says they want, and then it all working at the end. It's super rewarding. Like, I drove home with a smile on my face all the way home. So I highly recommend you do it, okay? can we normalize not talking couples out of shit? You know, I see it all the time. DJ idea sharing shit. I would talk your couple out of it. I would explain to your couple, you know, from a expert's position. You're not an expert. Like they're an expert on their crowd. This guy, like this groom I had, like who had the specific list, he was dead on. All his music worked. Like he requested like Mickey by Tony Bazil, right? And it was a younger crowd. I would have played Mickey. It's an older song. I mean, people know the "Hey Mickey, you're so fine" kind of part, but like, I don't know. It's just not one of my songs. I played that song. They erupted because he knows what they jam to. When they get drunk, he knows what's on their playlist, what they play, you know, just while they're like, you know, partying, hanging out like at their cribs and shit. Like he knows, he knew what would work. He knew, you know, like maybe hip hop might have worked, but like he knew that like they don't listen to hip hop. They just don't listen to hip hop. So he didn't want it. He didn't like Bruno Mars. They don't listen to Pitbull. So he didn't play no Pitbull. And he was right. You know, if I would have went rogue and did my own thing, I wouldn't have had such a good wedding. I really wouldn't have. And I would have had a couple that would have been like low key, kind of like, you know, like you didn't play like hip hop or, you know, you played a little like borderline hip hop songs because like you use it as a crutch and we'll let it go. But, you know, generally speaking, like you should have played more of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like the same thing with requests. If you get crazy requests, like listen to them, play the crazy requests, have backup plans, like, you know, plan it out so you know what to do just in case it does bomb, because sometimes it doesn't work. But like, generally speaking, play it. More times than not, it's going to work. It's going to go off. Your couple's going to be happy. You're playing different shit. You're discovering new shit. I probably added like 5 or 6 songs to my crates from the specific wedding of songs I forgot about that ended up working, including that Mickey song. Because I've came up with this little quick mix routine I could do with Mickey and Good For You, like because it's like kind of the same like the like 80 BPM kind of thing, like in that realm. So I came a little like with the Olivia Rodrigo song, like a little like mix or whatever. So you know, you're gonna learn and you're gonna evolve from it. You know, like just trust me, trust in your couples. Okay, don't sleep on their playlist and don't talk them out of it. It's worth it every single time. Every single time. Holy shit, I talked a whole hour. What about Bad Bunny? If a couple wants Bad Bunny, play Bad Bunny. Who gives a shit? What are we talking about? You know what's funny about Bad Bunny? Everyone like makes the cliche joke, like, oh, they want Bad Bunny. Everyone requests Bad Bunny. I think I've had one Bad Bunny request my entire life because I don't do clubs. I do weddings and like, I don't know, it's very rare at weddings people request Bad Bunny for me anyway. I don't know, maybe I do like some white ass weddings, but like I rarely get Bad Bunny requests. Like I can't relate to any of those memes. It's hilarious. But man, it's been an hour. Holy shit, I ranted for you guys. I literally broke a sweat ranting. But please, I hope you guys. If I could turn one person around, it's worth it. One last thing I wanted to talk about before I let you guys go, okay? And then we'll call quits at an hour. One little thing, that's come up over my weddings and stuff, and I've seen people talk about online, and I think like some DJs get wrong. Okay, it's when the couple leaves the room. When the couple leaves the room. Now, the couple can leave the room for a variety of different reasons, okay? It could be for a sunset photo. It could be to cut the cake in the other room. It could be, I don't know, to go bang. I don't know. They can leave the room for a lot of different reasons, okay? I think a lot of DJs overthink this sort of thing. They look around like, oh my God, the couple's not in the room. I can't do anything. I have to play low jazz music really low until they come back. No fun can happen until they come back in the room. And that is 1,000% wrong in my opinion. Unless the couple tells you that, like, for whatever reason, like, listen, no fun can be had when we're not in here. Don't dance them before we get back. We're leaving. Don't, like, obviously if they tell you, then don't. But like, generally speaking, they leave the room, you keep it pushing the same way. The only thing I change when the couple gets taken out for pictures or the couple leaves, the only thing I change is like I won't play like their must-play requests if they're not in the room because obviously I want them to hear it. That's like, that way it's like I played it. You know what I mean? If they don't hear it, then like how do I prove I played it, right? So obviously hold the must-plays, for when they're in the room. Other than that, I handle it the same way. A lot of DJs will wait to dance, or when they do dance, they don't play any good music. They just like keep it chill because the couple's not in the room. Like that's ridiculous. Like, what would you rather? Would you rather the couple to come back into the room after sunset pictures to like a party and then they just like sexy walk in the room and like join the dance floor and that's it? Or would you rather them come in and be like, wow, this wedding sucks. Like what's going on? Are we going to get it started? Oh yeah, sorry. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to come back. Now we're going to get it started. Time to get the, like, no, don't wait for anything, follow the timeline. When dinner's done and it's time to open the dance floor, open up the dance floor and hold nothing back except for must plays. Okay? Don't save nothing for the couple. Nothing. You should have plenty of music to play all night long. So whatever, they missed your first couple songs. Hammer it. Get that crowd going. That way when they walk back in the room, they're walking back into a party. Because at the end of the day, that's what every couple wants, is a party. And they leave the room and come back and it's a boring ass room and nothing's going on. They're kind of be like, oh shit, damn. And that's when you'll literally see the couple come up to you and be like, hey, we're going to get the party started. We're going to start dancing. Like, what's up? You know? Should have already did this by now. So don't hold back shit. Okay? Don't overthink the whole couple leaving and all this. Don't walk on eggshells the whole, like, you know what I mean? Like, throw down. Don't hold songs back. Just throw down. Okay? Throw down. Unless, like, you know, obviously the timeline says different. Now, if they go and cut the cake privately and you know there's going to be, you know, a huge dessert or something, still throw down. But then when the huge dessert comes and you see you're losing half the dance floor for dessert or whatever, then maybe chill for dessert, right? Play upbeat stuff, but just bring it down. But, oh, by the way, you know, announce the dessert, turn your lights down a little bit. Like, don't do the crazy lights anymore. And then, you know, just keep people bopping while they eat dessert. Don't fight dessert. You know, there's things you do, but, like, generally speaking, always go for it. Always try and create the best party ever, no matter who's in the room. Because it's, I mean, just makes 100% sense, okay? You want the couple walking back into the room to a party, not some lame-ass shit. I've seen a lot of posts with DJs talking about that recently, and just want to address it. And that's it. That's the end of my rants, people. 1 o'clock on the dot. Look at me. Wow, that was a lot of yelling. Sorry. All right. I'll be releasing everything in highlights if you missed anything, so feel free to look for those highlights. And any comments or whatever, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll definitely be checking those out today and whatnot. I'll be on Twitch tonight at 9:30 p.m. Live set that I usually do whenever I do the show. So definitely come check me out on that. Should be a grand old time. 9:30 to 11 tonight on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Nick Spinelli if you don't follow me on there already. Appreciate you all for coming, though. Seriously, thank you so much. I had a great time today on the show. And, yeah, I'll definitely see you guys soon. So have a great week. Crush your weddings this weekend. And, yeah, stay safe.